Here in my garage today, and we're going to unbox a RedCat 64. I'm in the garage today because I got batteries on the workbench charging behind me, so we're going to do this on the hood of my Mini Clubman here. And I already cut the seal. Let's see here. Looks like it comes with a decal instruction sheet right on top of the box. Not sure if we're going to use any of those decals, but maybe we'll take a look and see what it looks like. Let's see here. Get the outer packaging out of the way. And wow, this looks pretty nice here. This is an outer sleeve. Oh, okay. Let's slide it out of that. And that's what the box and packaging looks like inside, away from the outer sleeve. And let me give you a little better. Look at that. RedCat really stepped up their packaging. I mean, I have several other RedCats. I got a Caju and a MT10E, and nothing is quite packaged as nice as this is, so it's kind of impressive. There's even some decal and faux wall. I actually might be able to use that for some shots. And here, if I cut that open, very cool. Put that aside. Now for the main event. I mean, look at this. It's pretty nice. I got to give them credit. Even my Gen 8, which is a pretty high-end Axe Edition, was not packaged as nicely as this. Take that main box off. Looks like we have a typical manual, a full decal sheet. I think the decals kind of look 1970s, maybe a little tacky, but they'll fit the look. I mean, it's a 6.4 Impala, so maybe it's a sign of the times. And let's see, first piece of foam here. Now we got a radio. Yep, this whole thing comes out okay. Interesting radio. Let's see, looks like it might be a 6-channel. So you got your standard forward, reverse, steering, and oh, okay, so it's all labeled. Raised front, and then looks like front servos, raised rear, and then rear as well. Oh, I bet these are for probably hopping, and these are probably raising and lowering. That makes sense. Okay, we'll check that out in a minute. Put the radio over here. And I opted for the blue. I really wanted the blue. Oh, look, before I get the car up, get a battery. This first thing that's going to go is this connector. Can't stand these. I'll probably replace it with a Dean's. And hopefully a LiPo if they fit. Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Comes with a Tamiya adapter, a RedCat to Tamiya adapter. And these are weights. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 weights in there. I assume to make the hopping more realistic. We'll have to play around with those and see if they make a difference. And I've read or seen in other videos, the body is a little fragile, so I want to make sure I don't break it when I take it out. Oh, here's the charger for the battery. Put that in there. Alright. And we'll gently push it up from the underside. And get the rear bumpers hung up. There we go. And there we have it. 1964 Impala. In a beautiful shade of blue. So the body detail here is pretty impressive. If we take a look here without, haven't taken the top off yet, but I mean, taillights, it looks like a 64 Impala. Well, definitely Lexan. I mean, the front end, they did a really good job at detailing this car. And from what I can tell, yeah, the body clips are on the bottom. So, now before I do that, yeah, a solid rear axle. I mean, it looks to scale here. independent front suspension. Assume that's for the hopping servo. And exhaust, everything looks pretty well to scale. I gotta give them credit on the design factor here. I mean, these tires are tiny. Obviously this car is not meant for speed and it's not going to go fast, but the tires definitely reiterate that. Let's take these body clips off. Having a tight space here. There we go. And we'll flip this over. And let's see how easily this body comes off the chassis. Now, okay, so it looks like the entire body comes, including the bumpers. I wasn't sure. Again, trying to be gentle, as I don't want to break it. The body does feel fragile. Again, it's not a basher. It's not a fast car, so I'm not surprised that the body feels a little fragile. It's kind of a showpiece. Yeah. And you know what? Look at that. That's a seam right here. So along the seam, so it's there's another one here. So it looks like it's at least a 3-piece Lexan body. Oh, it's more than that. So 3, 4, 5. So this center here, this middle is all one piece. Each fender is another piece. And then this rear bumper is another piece of Lexan. And then this front clip is another piece of Lexan. So from what I can tell, it's a 5-piece body. Put that here. No, it's not going to stay. Put it on the bench. And how is this held up? Velcro. There. Alright, so that's just Velcroed on. I bet there's decals, because this interior is detailed enough. But there's decals to put in there, and actually this makes it really easy to add those decals to the interior, so not a bad idea. Alright, whoa. So, first thing stands out is this tiny motor. I mean, obviously this has a lot of weight to it. Oh, there's weights in the back already. Obviously this is not meant for speed. That brushed motor, 380 size maybe, or smaller. Looks about the same size as the one I have in my Mini T 2.0, which is brushless now. But let me see here. Here's the original. No, it's bigger than that. The original brushed motor that came out of my Mini T is, yeah, it's definitely bigger than that, but still very, very small motor. So let's move on. Steering servo is a hex fly, and it looks like the rear raising and lowering servos are also hex fly, 25 kilograms. I am not going to hate on that servo. I just put one in my Gen 8 Axe Edition because I got it as a roller. Servo actually does a really nice job for steering on a crawler, so hopefully it does the job for, you know, raising and lowering this. I'm guessing the hopping is going to be only in the front, because there's the reef servo, the piece that everyone wants to see in this car. Yeah, that feels smooth enough. That's for the hopping up and down. Oh yeah, look at the hopping action there. I mean, it feels buttery smooth. So I can't wait to get a battery in it. I've actually got a couple of NIM batteries charging, including the one that came with it, and we'll take a look at what it does once the battery's in. This here in the back, it looks like a fuel tank. It's got to be full of lead or something. It's so hefty right there. The amount of weight in the back is actually kind of impressive, on top of the battery being strapped in back there as well. So it's going to have a ton of weight in the back. But we'll get a battery in it soon, and we'll see what how the hopping works. Yeah, I mean, it's going to lift up pretty easy because of the weight. So while that was charging, I did something absolutely crazy, and I read this manual. And what I discovered is that not only is this LiPo capable, it says that it is 2S or 3S capable, and the ESC will automatically detect the battery type, which kind of seems like a surprise to me. But even more surprising, looking at the size of this ESC, it is tiny. I mean, what do I have here? Put that next to a BLX 185, and I mean, it's insane. This is obviously a 6 SESC, and so it's hard to compare it to a 3S, but according to the manual, it's 3S capable. Look at the size of that motor. I don't think I'm going to put a 3S battery on it, but I will put a 2S battery in here, and I just happen to have one. Let's see, and it fits perfectly in the tray. That is a cheap hard case 2-cell LiPo. And snug that down, and have an adapter. We'll plug that in. I probably should put the battery in the other way. And now, grab this controller. And supposedly it is going to beep several times when a LiPo is detected. Oh, there we go. Oh, the back was up. Okay. Interesting. Alright, I don't want to do too much on this table, but wow. Very cool. Alright, let's get a body on this thing and try it out.